Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Vineet Jain, the co founder and CEO of Egnyte, and I'm joined here today with Joe Sarci, the Deputy CIO of First Republic Bank, a valued Egnyte customer. Welcome, Joe, and thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about First Republic Bank and your role as the Deputy CIO?
So First Republic Bank is a U.S.-based bank that is a wealth management, personal. It offers personal banking, business banking, trust, and wealth management services. My role as a deputy CIO, I'm pretty much responsible for all of technology, which includes all of infrastructure operations, networks, data, cloud strategy, and governance, and things like that.
Super. Thank you, Joe. Egnyte recently released our 2021 Data Governance Trends Report, where IT leaders across industries shared their insights on how digital business is changing and how it impacts risks and productivity. I'm curious in terms of what areas of your business have you seen the biggest digital acceleration, and what are your biggest challenges?
I would say the biggest acceleration has been around digital lending and digital payments. For example, pre-COVID, there was a lot of, for like an example of a mortgage, whole process from kind of cradle to grave was very paper intensive and people intensive, and face-to-face meetings. Now post-COVID or during COVID, we turned that whole process into a digital signage from that standpoint. So very virtual, and all digital. In addition to, I think some of the biggest challenges have been that there's been a lot, the transformation, comes down to some, 4 talent areas, specifically around, data process, organizational change capability, and then pulling it all together while, we were in the state. But the other thing is there's a lot of interest in cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies that we're starting to look into as well.
Interesting. Now, do you think there are unique considerations for financial services firms versus other industries?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first and foremost is protecting the bank and our clients in information, and then and also the regulatory. Right? We want to make sure we're always compliant from whether it be introducing new technology or adopting any type of technologies, and then also one of the things that's been probably on everybody's list right now is all the supply chain risk out there, right? With third parties, like the SolarWinds, Kaseya, and things that were, all publicly announced. So those are the types of things that you have to be careful with, or that we're looking at, is all the third party risk that's out there.
Thank you, Joe. An associate question I have is, in what areas of new technology do you see or expect substantial growth, maturity, and adoption in 2022 and beyond?
So I definitely see, I think a lot of the blockchain is starting to be adopted in financial services, and specifically, the way we've been dealing with and working with fintechs. I think one of them is around artificial intelligence. I mean, that I know that word gets thrown around a lot, in machine learning and deep learning, but specifically on the technology side and then customer side, around AI, not only for on the technology side, on the operation side, like AI ops, but then also looking at specific data, and seeing how we could, maybe using some intelligence around it, and either for our clients or for ourselves internally. But I definitely see those three out there as maybe not so much the deep learning right now for us, but probably AI and ML for sure, both on the ops side, the client side, and even probably potentially for cybersecurity as well.
Joe, the hybrid work model is here to stay, probably across all industries. And now that the initial shock of COVID is over, how have your team's priorities changed? And how are you managing your teams and projects differently than before, or are you?
From our perspective, I think being or having us work remotely, the teams working remotely mostly over 2 years. I mean, I think it's not over yet, but I think for us, it's being empathetic to the teams and to, the projects, right? So I think our colleagues have done an outstanding job, supporting the internal colleagues in addition to our clients. But I think there's definitely going to be a sea change around talent, for the expectation of people, potentially continually working virtually, but for us, I mean, project-based, we haven't stopped. Actually, we've been executing very well, through multiple projects. I think the concern is a potential challenge is going to be, when we all do come back, right? Like all these pent-up projects and demands that have been out there. But I think for us, it's been pretty solid.
Joe, thank you so much for spending time with us. I'm sure our audience would have enjoyed and learned quite a bit from our conversation. Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Vineet. It's been great being here. Thank you.